Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of Arrivals intel. And in this video, we're going to be taking you through a new raid farm glitch that you can do solo. But before I get to all of that, I just want to remind everybody I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel. The next one will be at 30,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell. It's right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And as always, if you stick around until the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags, they stack between all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, so this week's raid farm glitch is going to be the Gauntlet in the Leviathan raid. And you're going to want to make sure that this is the Prestige raid. And for those of you who don't know, we talked about it last week, but the original raid, so anything that's going to be sunsetting at the end of this season, now have the unique ability of being able to be farmed out. This is because any one character, obviously some people have 3 characters, some people don't, but normally you used to only be able to do one encounter in any given raid once per character per week. This has changed with those sunsetting raids. You can now do multiple runs on a individual character as many times as you want per week. So this makes things like the Leviathan a great raid to farm, because this particular raid has been around for so long and we know where all the little glitches are to make the progress go that much faster. So in this case, we're going to be running to the Gauntlet through the glitch. This gets you that checkpoint. So what this allows you to do is run in, get the checkpoint, have your fire team join you, finish the encounter, go back out to orbit, and then reset and do the whole thing over again. This is a little bit longer of a run, so you're going to have to get your running shoes on a bit more for this one, because the Gauntlet takes a little bit longer to get to than, for example, the Royal Pools or the Dogs. But it's still fairly simple and a fairly easy method. It's going to be similar to last week, except this time you're going to go over to the right side of the big callus head, get up on these golden rings, and go through the right side of the wall instead of the left side. And just to show you how fast this actually is, I had my buddy Sinister, big shout out to him, actually doing this the proper way by igniting the switches, which I believe the code is 1, 5, 3, 2, 4, and 6. So if you want to try to do the switches by yourself, it is very possible. And he actually happened to get it on the very first try, which allowed him to actually catch up to me. But here's the thing. Sinister is an amazing player. He's like a step above the rest. I'm pretty average. So this is a good example of how fast an average player can actually do this versus somebody who's really, really good. If you're really good, you might not even need this glitch. You can just do those switches, but he actually hit the switches the very first time. He got it through the very first time, so he was actually able to catch up with me. Big shout out to Sinister. He's absolutely amazing. However, if you're just like me and just kind of a normal casual player, or you play a lot, but maybe you're just not that great, maybe you're not a Sinister level player, this is going to allow you to get through this section just a lot easier, because those switches can be tricky. You do have to be fast, though again, with some practice the switches can be fairly simple, especially if you know the code. If you forget the code at the end of this video, a simple Google search, just look for underbelly code Leviathan, you'll find it really easily. But essentially you're going to be able to bypass that section by dropping out of the map, coming back in. You'll go through this area where the fans are. Make sure that you disable the fans, because if they blow you back, if you're doing this for the first time, they're going to kill you. Although I'm sure most people have done Leviathan at least once or twice at this point, although maybe you haven't done this section by yourself. Head over to this switch, go up a couple of levels. Again, this is a slightly longer running path, but you will be able to get to the end in, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes or so. Take a right, go down this hole, and as you can see, Sinister is now catching up with me. He did get a little bit he did catch up a little bit easier than most people might have, because he was able to sort of piggyback off of me hitting the switches on the fans. Again, really make sure you hit those switches on the fans. There's those little things you can kind of jump in front of that will stop you from blowing back. Make sure you do that. I did this a lot, and the first few times I ran through here, I didn't know what those things were for, and I just kept getting blown into the wall. I kept trying to get to the switch before the fan started. It's really impossible. But then just follow this through the door, take a left, up this ramp. We're just going to follow Sinister now. And if you've done this before, it's essentially the normal pathing once you've gotten through the glitch. Hit the switch on this door. Oh, I guess we were waiting for him to interact. One other thing that you do want to keep in mind, make sure that you, if you are playing on PC, cap your frame rate at 60 FPS. It makes this whole thing quite a bit easier. And I have noticed that when you actually come through the glitch wall and enter the checkpoint, like you saw me do at the beginning for the underbelly, it's not a big deal if you're not capped at 60, but you will actually die once you go through that wall, or once you go through that checkpoint at the door. Again, you'll just spawn right in front of the door and you'll have to hit the X. But for some reason, if your frame rate is capped at 60, you can actually just get the checkpoint and go right back through the door like you saw me doing. The door won't even close and you get the checkpoint and you won't die. I don't know why that is at 60. Big shout out to my buddy Jarv. He actually was the one that I saw talk about capping your frame rate while doing this. And it makes a lot of sense. Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it definitely helps out quite a bit. So big shout out to him. Go check out Jarvenius or Jarv's YouTube channel. He makes great Destiny content. Absolutely outstanding Destiny player. Go through the flower pots and make your way all the way up. We're almost there. Sinister beating me. He's got that Titan, man. Titans are just too fast. And here we are, almost there. This is where Sinister flexes on me by hitting his bubble. Raise up the elevator and you are at the gauntlet. Very simple, guys. Spawn your fire team in, complete the gauntlet. It's not the easiest encounter, certainly isn't as easy as the royal baths or the dogs, but not too difficult, and it's still a great farm. And I believe after this encounter we actually lead to the dog room this week, so you might be able to actually do 2 chests in one. So that's going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you find this helpful. I'm going to let the whole thing just play out one more time. This was sort of a race him and I were doing, if you didn't hear me say that at the beginning, just to show what a really good player can do versus a semi-mediocre player using this method. And you can actually, even though he beat me, we were still fairly in time with one another. You can do this whole thing with the encounter if you spawn your fire team in, probably in 20 minutes or so, I would say. So a very good farm considering that you get an exotic chest at the end of it. So if you're looking for those end of season exotics, anything you don't have, or end of the year exotics, or end of DLC exotics, because at the end of the season, I do believe the end of the season is the last season of this particular DLC, that being Shadow Keep, which is kind of crazy because Shadow Keep feels like it's been out for absolutely ever at this point. But stick around till the end of the video for that secret hashtag as always, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching. And thanks for watching all the way till the end of the video. Hopefully you found this information helpful today. And for the hashtags, you can leave at the end of the hashtags you can leave at the end. Excuse me. The hashtags you can leave in the comment section for today's video. Leave a hashtag Season of Arrivals, or a hashtag Leviathan Raid, or a hashtag Raid Farm. Any one of those, or anything else we might have talked about in today's video. If you leave a hashtag of that down below. Maybe a hashtag Sinister, because he's just that awesome. And as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you next time. Later!